Today we are going to discuss the pinout and signals of the 8085 microprocessor. It is the pinout diagram for the 8085 microprocessor. We know that 8085 is an 8-bit general purpose microprocessor which is capable of addressing 64K of memory. And the device has 40 pins which requires plus 5 volt power supply and can operate with a frequency of 3 MHz. All the signals in a 8085 microprocessor can be classified into 6 groups, that is address bus, data bus, control and status signals, power supply and frequency signals, externally initiated signals and serial input-output port. നമുക്ക് ഓരോന്നും ഡീറ്റെയിൽഡ് ആയിട്ട് നോക്കാം. The first one is the address bus. We know that a bus is a set of parallel lines over which data travel inside a microprocessor, and therefore address bus is a group of wires which carries address only. 8085 uses a 16-bit address bus to carry memory address and is capable of addressing 64 KB of memory. There are 8 signal lines, that is A15 to 8, which are unidirectional and used as the high order address bus. It is called unidirectional because the data flow in one direction. Here these lines are transmitted only the most significant 8 bit of the 16-bit address bus. The remaining least significant 8 bits of the 16-bit microprocessor is transmitted in the multiplexed mode using the multiplexed address or data bus. The signal lines AD7 to AD0 are multiplexed address or data bus. It is bidirectional, which is the data flow in 2 directions, and they serve a dual purpose. That is, they serve both as the low order address bus as well as the data bus. While executing an instruction, during the earlier part of the execution, these lines are used as the low order address bus, and during the later part it is used as the data bus. These low order address bus can be separated from the data bus by using a latching. Next is the control and status signals. This group includes 2 control signals, read and write, and the 3 status signals IO bar M, S1 and S0, and 1 special signal known as ALE. ALE is the address latch enable. This is a positive going pulse generated every time when the 8085 begins an operation. It indicates that the bits on AD7 to AD0 are the address bits, and it is used to separate the low order address from the multiplexed bus and separate set of 8 address lines, that is A7 to A0. Next is the read signal. This is a read control signal, indicates that the selected input output or memory device is to be read and the data are available on the data bus. And next one is the write. The write control indicates that the data on the data bus are to be written into a selected memory or a input output location. And the next is the input output bar memory. This is a status signal used to differentiate between input output and the memory operations. When it is high, it indicates input output operation, and when it is low, it indicates a memory operation. Next is the S1 and S0. These status signals can be identify various operations, but they are rarely used in small systems. Next is the power supply and clock frequency signals. The first one is VCC, and it is used to apply plus 5 volt power supply. Then the VSS, it is used as the ground signal. Next is X1 and X2. A crystal connected at these points spins and the frequency is internally divided by the 2. Hence, to operate a system at 3 MHz, the crystal should have a frequency of 6 MHz. Next is the clock out, that is the clock output. This signal can be used as the system clock for the other devices. And next is the externally initiated signals. 8085 has 11 such signals as listed below. Among these, 5 are interrupt signals that can be used to interrupt a program execution. Interrupts are the signals generated by external device to request the microprocessor to perform a task. There are different types of interrupts. A vector interrupt means the interrupt address is known to the processor, and a non-vectored interrupt means the interrupt address is not known to the processor. A maskable interrupt means we can disable the interrupt by writing some instructions to the program. A non-maskable interrupt means we cannot disable the interrupts by writing some instructions to the program. The first one is the INTR, that is interrupt request input. It is used as a general purpose interrupt and has least priority among the interrupts. It is a non-vectored interrupt. And then is the INTA, that is interrupt acknowledge output. It is used to acknowledge an interrupt. Next is RST 7.5, RST 6.5 and RST 5.5. That is, these are restart interrupts. These are vectored interrupts that transfers program control to specific memory locations, and they have higher priority than the INTR interrupts. Next is the trap interrupt. This is a non-maskable interrupt and has the highest priority. In addition to the interrupt signals, 3 pins, that is reset, hold and ready, accept externally initiated signals as input. Hold indicate the peripherals such as DMA controller is requesting the use of address and data buses. To respond to the hold request, 8085 has one signal known as HLDA, that is hold acknowledge, which acknowledges the hold request. The ready signal is used to delay the microprocessor read or write cycles until a slow responding peripheral ready to send or accept data. When the reset in signal on this pin goes slow, the program counter is set to 0. The buses are tri-stated and the microprocessor reset. The reset out signal indicates that the microprocessor is being reset. And the last one is the serial input output ports. We know that there are 2 types of transmission, serial transmission and the parallel transmission. Serial transmission means data transmit one after another, but in the parallel transmission it sends multiple data at the same time. The 8085 has 2 signals to implement the serial transmissions. They are SID and SOD. SID is serial input data and SOD is serial output data.